Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Happy first day of school to everybody out there going back today. We've already talked about the big ones, Little Rock School District, Pulaski County Special School District, North Little Rock. I know Dumas is going back today. Stuttgart's going back today. Sheridan's going back today.
List is long today.
It's getting long. We're ready to go.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of those people, even if you're not in Central Arkansas, a lot of those parents are driving into Central Arkansas. So we've been talking about traffic a lot today too, because it changes everything when school starts back.
Yeah, you've got to leave a little bit earlier because you're taking the kids to school first before you head to work or wherever you need to be. You're lucky if you get to head back home and go back to bed.
How about that?
Yeah, that would be nice. But some of us parents have to head on into work this morning. So yeah, lots of kiddos heading off to school.
I know there's a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, but traffic so far isn't looking bad at all as we're heading in. We're getting a look right now of what's going on with our traffic and a lot of green. We're starting to see a few slowdowns. It is 7:02, so this is when our traffic really starts to pick up. And around the Alexander exit on I-30 is where we first see traffic, and it starts to get a little bit busier. The North Terminal interchange is already looking a little bit congested too, but not backing up or anything, just slowing down a little bit. Here is a look at the North Terminal interchange right now. As you can see, traffic is pretty heavy, but it is moving right along. And looking at our drive times into downtown Little Rock, if you're coming from Conway, 25 minutes. From Benton around the Alcoa Road exit, it's just 19 minutes, which is awesome. 21 minutes from Cabot around the Highway 5 exit with an average speed of 56 miles per hour. So Tracy, it's looking great right now. Hopefully we can keep that up on the first day of school. Just make sure you leave a little bit early if you're heading off, right, Tracy?
That's right. We're going to start to see it pick up, that's for sure. And we're going to hit this bus stop forecast one more time today. Again, sunny skies for the most part as you're doing drop off or maybe catching that bus. And I remember when you're on the roads, there's going to be a lot of kids at the bus stops and they're still trying to figure it out as well. So take a little extra caution this morning. Afternoon pop-up shower is certainly possible. I think here in Central Arkansas, we're not going to see much. Mainly going to be in southern and maybe a little bit in eastern, but we're going to see those humid conditions continue into the weekend. But I also want to see your back to school photos. I need to see all of the gear, all of the backpacks, all of the fun, and just a little extra fun. Let us know what your little one wants to be when they grow up, and make sure you can text those to 501-376-1111. Include your name and their name if you would like, and where you're watching THV 11 Morning News from this morning. We would love to show off some of those pictures. As we are looking across the highs today, around 94 today in Central Arkansas. We're not looking at those temperatures being too extreme, which is good news for this first day of school. A few areas will get a little bit more into those mid 90s, but the heat index in Central Arkansas is going to feel like 97. But we've got a few areas that are going to reach those triple digit marks around Searcy, Arkadelphia, Camden, Pine Bluff, Texarkana, and Fort Smith as well. But we're still staying below the heat advisory category, so no heat alerts, but we still need to make sure we are staying hydrated. Those afternoons ahead, well, they are nice and boring. They're just going to hang out around 94, 93, just a little bit above that average. We'll talk more about this back to school forecast and the rain that we could see in the next couple of days coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Tracy, thank you. The new school year getting underway for thousands of Arkansas families, including the largest districts in Central Arkansas. Among them is the big one, the Little Rock School District, and THV 11's Tamer Knight joining students and staff at Horace Mann Magnet Middle School this morning. Tamer, you got a crowd with you getting ready to go to the classroom.
That's right, Hayden. I've been having so much fun here at Horace Mann Magnet School with the students, the principal, the superintendent. But right now, we're going to give the students the opportunity to take the floor and just talk a little bit about their excitement for the 2025-2026 school year. I have Jalea, Gavin, and Aiden. He must be a star because everybody cheered when he walked up. So we're just going to talk a little bit about their excitement for the school year. I know Gavin is excited for basketball.
Yeah. I feel like this year we could really win the championship, especially with all our pieces as a team. And I'm ready for the school year to see all my friends and learn some new things.
And obviously you're going to be on the sideline. They're all 8th graders. I'm assuming, Aiden, they're all 8th graders. So this is their last year here in middle school. Jalea, your last time on the sideline as a Bearcat.
It's very emotional. It's took me very good times. Like, I had so much good times with this school. I've formed so many good bonds from this school. This school has taught me a lot, and I'm just thankful for what it's taught me.
And Mr. Aiden, obviously you are a star on the football team. They said you're late. but you're on time because school hasn't started yet. But what about your football season, your last one here as a Bearcat?
Yeah, I'm really excited to play. We have a good defensive team, and I really like our offensive team.
What position do you play?
Defensive end.
What position do you play?
Shooting guard.
And you are a dancer. So there you have it here at the Horace Mann Magnet Middle School. School hasn't started for them yet, so we still are going to be hanging out. We'll be back at 7:30 with more from cheer and dance and robotics. But reporting live for THV 11 Morning News, I'm Tamer Knight.
All right.
Go Bearcats.
Thank you so much, Tamer. I'm about to send Sam Pittman a Facebook message or something to tell him that Aiden needs to get recruited immediately because he's already bigger than most of those Razorbacks they got. Thank you so much for that update. In other news this morning, Arkansas State Police say safety is front and center as many students do head back to the classroom, and that includes when kids are online. Troopers warn parents to keep close watch on their children's digital activity. They say online predators targeted several teens last year, often using messaging apps to lure them into dangerous situations. State Police recommend parents talk openly with teenagers about the risk of online interaction and remind them not to share any personal details on social media. Free prevention resources are available through the Arkansas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. In a statement to our newsroom, Major Stacy Rhodes, commander of the Criminal Investigation Division, says predators will send explicit content to children without hesitation. She stresses that having those difficult conversations helps kids understand how to stay safe online. Meanwhile, pediatricians are urging parents to keep childhood vaccinations on the back-to-school checklist as new data shows rates continue to fall. The CDC says only about 92.5% of kindergartners got the measles, mumps, and rubella shot last year, down from previous pre-pandemic levels of 95%, the threshold for herd immunity. Vaccine exemptions are also at a record high as the U.S. sees its highest number of measles cases in more than 30 years.
Vaccines have been studied for years and years and years. We want parents to understand that they're safe, that they're effective, and at the bottom line is just really to prevent disease.
The American Academy of Pediatrics reaffirms children should be immunized to attend school and child care. Doctors say parents should talk to their pediatricians about any concerns. U.S. Education Secretary Linda McMahon is set to visit Arkansas this week, part of her Returning Education to the States tour ahead of the new school year. Arkansas, Tennessee, and Louisiana are the first stops on her schedule. Secretary McMahon says she will tour several classrooms, highlight the work educators are leading at the local level, and hear directly from both students and teachers. She says the goal is to learn firsthand how schools are preparing for the year and to shine a light on the ways communities are shaping education. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is set to make an announcement on the state's economic development today. It comes after signing an agreement to strengthen economic and technological ties with Israel. The move comes as the governor wraps up a trade mission to the country, which included a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Under the agreement, Arkansas businesses and organizations will have new opportunities to collaborate on cutting-edge technology projects, exchange expertise, and bring innovative products to global markets. Advocates working to get people without a home off the streets are turning more attention to tiny houses, promoted as quick to build and fast ways to create supportive communities. Pulaski County moving ahead with its own version called Providence Park. The goal is to provide permanent housing for people experiencing chronic homelessness, along with medical, dental, and mental health services, all in one location. Founder and CEO Aaron Stanger says the idea began taking shape in 2019, inspired by a community in Austin, Texas, a model she believes could be a game changer here.
Permanent address for someone that's homeless. That's really a game changer, so that they can, there's lots of things that you can do when you have a permanent address. And so, but we recognized, early on that it's more than just a home that needs to be provided. It's really the community around that home and that love and care with the wraparound support services that can make a really big difference.
Providence Park will be built in 4 phases. Crews are currently working on phase 1 with plans for about 400 units once complete. Organizers hope to have some of the tiny homes ready before winter. Applications open September 2nd. In national news, President Donald Trump is set to hold a news conference in a few hours after sending more federal law enforcement into Washington, D.C. The move follows what the president says is a worsening crime problem and his call to move homeless people immediately out of the capital, relocating them far from the city. Federal agents, including from the FBI, are now part of that increased presence. The president says more steps could be coming, even hinting at taking temporary control of the city's police department. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser disputes those claims, pointing to data showing violent crime has actually dropped for the past year and a half, crediting local police and federal partners.
We are not experiencing a spike in crime. In fact, we're watching our crime numbers go down.
The president says his announcement today will also cover efforts to improve the city's cleanliness and restore what he calls, quote, the most beautiful capital in the world. 7-11 on your Monday morning. Back to school. Ashley, how are we looking so far?
It's looking pretty good right now. You know, just want to give a shout out to all of those students that are going back today. Not only students, but Hayden, you know, the educators, the teachers. It's a big day for them too. The administrators. Yeah, it's going to be a busy day even for our parents. So we're looking at traffic right now, so that has to be just one less thing that you worry about as you're heading in to maybe DeWitt this morning for back to school, or Hot Springs Lakeside or Riverview. All of these schools are going back, including the schools here in the major schools in Little Rock. But as you can see, no major backups right now, no accidents. We are seeing some slowdowns. It is after 7. People are trying to make their way to school on time this morning. And one slowdown that we are seeing, that we see every morning around this time, is here at the Alexander exit going eastbound on I-30. It's moving about 37 miles per hour right now. If you are at the North Terminal Interchange, we're seeing some slowdowns. Of course, a lot of people going to North Little Rock High School this morning. We can see that on our map. And 26 miles per hour on I-40 to the I-30 interchange going southbound, moving at 26 miles per hour right now, and the same if you're heading 30 westbound. So it's moving a little bit slow, but it is moving. That is the good news. This is another area where we see on school days start to back up a little bit. This is I-630 at the Woodrow exit. A lot of people take this exit to get to Central High School, which is also back. And today it looks pretty good. No major backups right now, but we could see that start to get heavier as we get closer to 8. So far, so good. Not looking too bad. And our drive times into downtown Little Rock look pretty good right now, too. It is all green off to the right. So, Tracy, not bad. Hopefully we can keep it up, which, you know, first day of school, there's going to be a lot more cars on the road.
Absolutely. Luckily, we're not dealing with anything weather-wise that could kind of throw a wrench in things. It is going to be a little muggy, a little sunny, a little hot out there this afternoon. So make sure you are drinking that water, taking that to school and drinking it. They're going to need it for sure. Looking for plenty of sunshine today, and that high right around 92 could get as high as 94. We're going to see that heat index value close to 100, but we don't have any heat alerts across the state, which is good news. We're going to hang on to that 94 for the next few days and maybe even a little beyond, but we do have the chance for a few scattered storms to come in a bit widespread as we're heading into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, some of these could have some heavier downpours, but man, let me tell you, we certainly need that rain. Now, the best chances for rain are going to be between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then it starts to die off just a little bit more as we're heading into the weekend. And just timing things out for today, not a lot of activity expected. If we see any showers at all, it's going to be very brief. We could see some in southern Arkansas as we're heading into the evening. And for tomorrow, a bit more widespread, especially for that afternoon pickup. This is going to be around 6 p.m., but we could see some of these starting closer to around 3 when that max heating of the day begins. But we're going to have to keep an eye on this as well for that afternoon pickup for the next few days. But today, I think we're going to be okay. And we're also going to have to start watching those drought conditions. But we'll talk more about that in my forecast in just a few minutes.